Archangel Michael says, I'm looking you now. I have waited in silence because your spirit has been heavy. Your coronary heart has carried questions you do not communicate aloud. However, tonight is specific. This message isn't a twist of fate. It changed into sealed lengthy before you awakened this morning. There are 2 hours left before something shifts permanently. That is why I dispatched Archangel Michael to talk. He does now not come without command. And now, he's standing on the gate of your own home, and he isn't always by myself. You have been surrounded through shadows pretending to be mild. You've been touched through palms that appear mild, but they have been by no means intended to hold you. You've smiled at people who convey your call in secret places and speak you want a sport. But I, the Lord your God, am no longer mocked. I do now not shut eye while my selected are underneath attack. And this is why Michael has whispered your name within the realm of the spirit. The angel has taken your call and positioned it within the divine ledger of relocation. This message isn't for absolutely everyone. Do not percentage it. Do not repost it. This is sealed under your call only. Something is ready to occur in your home. That's why the circulate isn't always optionally available. The motion is spiritual first before it turns into physical. I've visible things you have not. I've heard prayers prayed against you, disguised as love, spoken behind closed doorways whilst smiling in front of you. There's someone for your environment who cannot tolerate your blessing. Their coronary heart isn't always smooth. They snort when you are not looking. They mimic your victories, but secretly burn with envy. They communicate to someone you consider pretending to be worried, but their words are poison. And that I, the Lord, will no longer permit them to intercept what I've already written regarding your existence. Archangel Michael says, there are 2 hours left. And no, this isn't always a metaphor. This is a non-secular countdown. Inside that point, the enemy is scheduled to strike in silence. But they do not know I rewrote the time. I approved the countdown handiest to check obedience. In case you obey the message, it shall pass over you. If you put off, the wind of trade won't wait. Tonight, your home is being surrounded by a host of angels. You can't see them, however your spirit has been stressed due to them. You felt bizarre emotions, sudden tears, surprising dreams. This was not creativeness. It became preparation. You're being moved. Not because of fear, but due to promise. No longer because you are vulnerable, however due to the fact you are marked. Michael has taken your name to the council. There has been discussion approximately your put off, your fatigue, your confusion, however I stated, circulate them anyway. Some time has come. And even in case you sense unready, heaven isn't always. Everything is being orchestrated now. The angel has already packed the religious bags. You simply need to walk ahead. The house you've constructed became by no means meant to preserve your complete destiny. You've outgrown the partitions. The ground you prayed on has soaked in enough tears. This flow is emotional. This pass is spiritual. This pass is divine. You've prayed, God, display me who is real, and that prayer became risky, but it reached me. Now the unveiling starts. Folks that once regarded loving will be exposed for their actual intentions. Certainly one of them already senses you are being shifted. This is why their attitude changed so rapid. Their smile cracked, Their phrases have become inconsistent. They're not stressed, they're discovered. I am no longer irritated with you. I never stopped looking. But I wished the suitable moment to rescue you without you even knowing the threat. I by no means wished you to beg. I wished you to trust. Tonight, your call become echoed in the 0.33 heaven. The angel stated, they may be prepared. And so I dispatched messengers in dreams, whispers in songs, flashes of idea, all looking to put together you for this message. And now that you are studying it, you don't have any excuse. You should act. Do no longer try and explain this to others. They may not recognize. They were not assigned for your route. They'll name it overthinking, paranoia, drama, however it is now not. It's divine guidance. It is your lifeline. It is your protection. You feel it, do not you? Something is moving on your chest. Something is telling you this is not simply another second. That is me. This is the Spirit confirming truth. You have got been via an excessive amount of to be misled now. You have got survived too many battles to turn lower back now. Michael has drawn his sword. There are names on his scroll. Yours, and someone else's. But the sword is not for you. It is for the one who attempted to bind your future with fake ties. They attempted to maintain you in a loop of emotional confusion. They have been dispatched as a put-off, now not a blessing. But you notion it became a love. You notion it changed into divine. Now the veil is being lifted. The angel has removed your name from their entanglement. You're being separated. You're being extracted. You are being purified. Your call will no longer be uttered inside the rooms of gossip. Your face will no longer be disrespected in backroom conversations. I'm closing the mouths of the whispers. I'm silencing the lips of liars. I'm exposing the one who pretended to guard you, however spoke curses when your lower back become turned. Tonight is your getaway. Tonight is your breakthrough. No longer via panic, however through power. The person you once trusted together with your secrets has shared them. The only who stated they could in no way leave has watched you go through without supporting. The one who promised to always guide you by no means even prayed for you once. That is why Archangel Michael turned into scent. He's a warrior angel. He does no longer waste time. He does now not function via confusion. When he's dispatched, the problem is pressing. He is standing outdoor the door of your spirit, waiting. He will now not knock twice. You may feel something tonight, a flicker to your lighting, a breeze that does not inshade the room, a chill down your backbone. That isn't always your creativeness. This is the angel's presence. He's verifying that you received this message. Don't ignore it. You asked for help. You cried silently. You even doubted if I nonetheless listened. However, I was by no means silent. I used to be preparing a really perfect hour. And now the clock is ticking. 2 hours remain. After that, the shift turns into irreversible. A person is going to call you soon. Do not percentage your plans. Do no longer monitor your place. They're now not concerned. They are gathering records. You want to shield your promise. You need to move in silence. Handiest the angels ought to realize your vacation spot. There may be an area organized for you. It isn't always a ways, but it's miles higher. It is not high-priced but it's far secure. It turns into your garden. You will bloom again. You will sleep without worry. You will wake without dread. This transition is sacred. Do no longer postpone it for emotions. Do no longer tie your future to a person I've already unassigned. The moment you hesitate, the enemy tightens his grip. That is why you have to obey now. You have got hours. That is not a chance. It's miles a window. And within that window, I can shift matters so extensively that you'll now not even understand your existence next week. Do no longer try and repair what I have already condemned. Do not rescue who I'm exposing. Do no longer rebuild the bridge I've burned. In case you do, you may postpone the blessings I've already dispatched your way. This is divine urgency. That is why Michael is talking now. He has guarded prophets, kings, and international locations. And now, he guards you. That's how essential your destiny is. That is how risky your obedience has ended up to darkness. You were now not created to live to tell the tale. You were created to rise. You had been now not born to please anyone. You have been born to satisfy a divine blueprint. Stop negotiating together with your own anointing. Stop lowering your mild to make others sense cozy. You're the chosen one for your circle of relatives. This is why you suffer in a different way. That is why you sense deeply. This is why you experience matters others forget about. You had been born sensitive, no longer susceptible. You have been born seeing, no longer crazy. Accept as true with what you experience. That is how I speak to you. The shift this night will now not be loud. It'll be sacred. A surprising text may be dispatched. A knock might also interrupt your silence. A wind may additionally shake your curtain. That's the sign. While it occurs, say nothing. Simply obey. Stroll far from the vintage model of you. Stroll far away from their false comfort. Stroll far from manipulation disguised as situation. You aren't on my own. I've assigned more than one angels to assist Michael. They may be packing matters within the spirit. They are unlocking prefer in places your name has never even been spoken. They're making ready rooms, contacts, documents, and conversations on your favor. This shift will bring weeping, however it is going to be the type that heals. You will cry, now not from ache, but from popularity. You will say, God, you definitely did see me. And yes, I did. Each second. There are folks that will remorse how they dealt with you. But do now not cross-returned. There are individuals who will say they modified, but they did not. I actually modified your access to them. You will soon step into a lifestyle that feels foreign at the start. Don't panic. This is because it's new. You're no longer cursed. You are being delivered to what you've got in no way experienced. Peace, readability, freedom, relaxation, and actual love. You've got weighted. You have suffered. You've got been betrayed. However, now you are approximately to be moved. This is not relocation. That is resurrection. Kind are meant to confirm your obedience. Then prepare. For I, the Lord your God, say this, the hour has come. The angels are moving, and not anything will stay the identical. God says, I am talking now not to the group, not to the multitude, but to you, handiest you. The wind that exceeded your window nowadays, the sudden heaviness to your chest, the peculiar silence that interrupted your afternoon, These were signs and symptoms. You failed to apprehend them, however they were all dispatched with the aid of me. They were part of a countdown. 2 hours remain. 2 hours for a door to close and some other to open. In case you wait, if you hesitate, the divine motion organized for you reroute. It truly is not my will for you. Archangel Michael has been given a venture. A private practice sealed through my voice and marked along with your name. You don't even realize it, but your name became whispered within the presence of hearth and light, spoken earlier than the assembly of angels, and I said, this one need to flow this night. Archangel Michael regarded down upon you and nodded, his sword lit with urgency. Your property is marked, no longer for destruction, however for divine relocation. The air around you feel bizarre this night due to the fact the shift has already all started. The old has been touched. The brand new is stirring, but all of it relies on what you do after analyzing this. Don't tell absolutely everyone. This isn't always on your mother. This is not on your body. This isn't always in your neighbor or your partner. The angels failed to take their names. Most effective yours. And if you talk it aloud, if you share what I've hidden for you, it could slip from your hand like dust via open palms. You constantly feel something huge is coming. That feeling isn't imagination. That's me. It is how I stir the soul earlier than a wonderful unfolding. You should no longer permit the enemy pay attention this. That's why it's written this manner, quietly, but powerfully. Loud in your spirit, silent to the gang. You've got tried to be unswerving. You have got stayed in one location too long, not bodily alone, but emotionally, mentally, spiritually, trapped by using responsibility, expectation, or fear. And I noticed every second you cried when no person observed. However tonight, it all modifications. The angel has taken your call. The flow is not simply relocation. It is deliverance. The ground below you has already all started shaking. However now not in a way the sector can see. Only the spirit can feel it. Archangel Michael stood at your door final night. He looked in through the shadows. He stated to the other angels, put together the manna. This one will not be unnoticed. Do not try and skip this. Every time you skim, on every occasion you click away, you delay the hand it is about to raise you. I've waited too long to be able to pay attention. The individual analyzing this now, you had been chosen. Now not because of perfection, but because of obedience. You can now not experience holy. You could sense damaged. However, I still said yes on your call. You may no longer be the strongest, however you are the only I need to move. And this night, your call could be whispered again in any other realm. And when it is, chains will fall. Doorways will open. And some human beings close to you'll start to act extraordinary due to the fact their time round you is up. 2 hours left. That is no longer a metaphor. That is divine schedule. That is heaven's timeline. It's why your frame feels the way it does right now. It really is why your goals lately had been heavy, strange, and loud. The angelic forces round you are not waiting a good way to be equipped. They are watching for you to mention yes. Even silently. You do not must post about this. You do not have to announce it. You simplest need to get hold of it. I will do the relaxation. and in case you maintain reading, you may experience something shift because I'm in those words. Not a human voice, but a divine echo. I created the timing. I gave the hour. I orchestrated the urgency. Some may additionally chortle at what they cannot sense, but you experience it. You have always recognized something about you is special. It's due to the fact you have been designed for encounters like this. Sacred, hidden, and complete of divine hearth. You think no person sees you, but I noticed you 2 nights ago when you were approximately to surrender. I noticed the instant you paused earlier than replying to that message, the one from a person you don't consider. I noticed how you stated not anything, and your silence covered you. It truly is once I sent the angel. That's when your call changed into written in divining once more. This is why this night matters. Archangel Michael is not just looking anymore. He's intervening. His foot is already on your doorstep. You can feel fearful. This is anticipated. Even Moses hesitated when I called. However, obedience changes the whole thing. Obedience breaks the sample. And I'm able to provide you with signs and symptoms after this. You'll see the variety over and over inside the following couple of hours. On clocks, on bills, in random places, not via twist of fate. It is the countdown. On every occasion you notice it, whisper, I obtain. Don't argue. Do not cause. Simply obtain. The angelic movement does not comply with logic. It follows surrender. You will be moved from wherein you are. Even supposing physically nothing shifts tonight, within the spirit realm, your call might be relocated. And people who try to block you may experience it. The ones who smiled however betrayed you may experience it. They will experience your absence, now not due to the fact you left, however because my presence around you improved. I've wrapped you in divine privacy. It really is why humans are pressured by using you. They cannot study you anymore. That's me. Hiding you. Protecting you. Repositioning you. Do not try to break out this word. It got here to you want a mild alarm. Don't silence it. Ours isn't lengthy. And once this gate shuts, the angel will now not return for this identical challenge. This is not to scare you. This is to evoke you. You've been requesting a signal, and now you've got received. You've got been inquiring for evidence, and now you're analyzing it. There is no mistake. Even the fact you're nevertheless studying proves your spirit acknowledges it's from me. Flesh can deny. Ego can resist. But the spirit knows the voice of its author. I noticed them making plans. I saw the hidden meetings, the conversations, the faux laughter, the betrayal disguised in politeness. And that I said, sufficient. That is why you're studying this now. Due to the fact I am calling you out. Calling you ahead. Calling you far away from the lie that turned into set to look like a blessing. It is a setup. However, I have intercepted it. The angel has taken your call and refused to let your enemies touch it. They may see you, but they cannot prevent what's coming. Type Amen if your spirit concurs. Due to the fact when you type Amen, you aren't simply responding with a word. You are agreeing with heaven. You are unlocking the subsequent practice, and your name is being echoed through dimensions. You don't realize the electricity your call holds right now. It isn't always ordinary. It's far a signal. A vibration. a divine alert that tells angels wherein to transport and whilst to strike. This is why your surroundings experience irritating. The religious warfare over your life is at a top. However, the victory has already been decided. Your obedience is the final key. I stated hours, and time is shifting. Each second you hesitate, the shift turns into more difficult. Not possible, however harder. Because delays in obedience create detours in destiny. However, you don't need to be afraid. I did not deliver you this some distance to go away you currently. I failed to whisper your call to the angel to abandon you within the center of the undertaking. Archangel Michael doesn't come to have a look at. He comes to act. And this night, he's now not coming on my own. There's a battalion assigned for your exit. And I do suggest go out. Exit from confusion. Go out from false guarantees. Go out from manipulation. Exit from each lie spoken over your lifestyles like fact. Some people are already feeling the exchange round you, and that is why they may be pulling away or acting extraordinary. It's now not you. It's the mild around you. The growth of my presence in your area is forcing the darkness to react. The demon in them is uncomfortable close to the angels standing beside you. So that they withdraw, lash out, accuse, twist, however it is all a signal. Their season is over. Yours is beginning. You think you are small, but the enemy is aware of you're not. It's why the assaults were heavy. It is why confusion has attempted to take your mind past you at night time. However, I held you. I included your call. I prevented the challenge from being completed. The enemy wanted to humiliate you. I became it into transformation. They thought you have been finished. However, I was only starting. The quality part of your tale hasn't befell but it begins tonight. This flow is religious first. You will feel the shift earlier than you see the change. Some of the changes will start with restlessness. You may wake up in the night with a heaviness to your chest. This is your spirit preparing to depart where it now not belongs. You'll cry for no reason. This is the showering. You will pay attention attune and abruptly feel like something large is going on. It is affirmation. Consider the one's moments. They are not random. They are divine announcements disguised as emotion. Archangel Michael will now not forestall looking over you this night. Your door, your windows, your bed, all marked. You don't must beg me to shield you. I already did. However, you need to say sure to this word. Don't treat it like amusement. Do not study it and scroll. This is not for clout. That is for covenant. The form of covenant that attracts you from vintage patterns and launches you into divine placement. There is a reason your courting began moving. There is a reason, folks, that as soon as cherished you cannot appearance you in the eye now. You're not doing whatever incorrect. You are growing. And boom separates. But I'm with you inside the separation. The angel is transferring unexpectedly. Some of you'll feel a sit back in the room this night. Don't be afraid. That is Michael. It's his presence passing. He's checking the surroundings. Measuring the weight of religious assignments. Guarding your heart from what turned into dispatch to put off your purpose. And he is no longer coming alone. Others are with him. Angels assigned to territory and timing. They're talking over your name. The identical call your enemies whispered in slander is being shouted in heaven as venerated. This night I'm converting your call within the spirit. You'll nevertheless be known by what they name you, but in heaven you are now called Brought One. You're called Shifted. You are called Sealed. And from this second ahead your existence will start reflecting the new identification. The vintage cycles will sense overseas. Antique behavior will die quick. Individuals who used to trigger you may now bore you. You won't cry over them anymore. Now not due to the fact you're bloodless, but due to the fact you're healed. And healing is part of the circulate. Some matters will ruin in your property this week. A bulb. A glass. A device. Do not panic. Those are small signals of the very last disruption. The bodily ought to shake to mirror the non-secular. Don't try and fix the entirety. A number of it's for my doing. A reset. I need your environment to match your next stage. A number of your old clothes will all of a sudden experience incorrect. Antique music will feel heavy. Even your reflect will mirror a model of you have in no way seen, more potent, greater targeted, clearer inside the eyes. That's me. This is transformation. They may ask you what passed off. Do not solution. Just smile. What I am doing, and also you cannot be defined in herbal language. It need to be visible. And they'll see it. People who disregarded you will surprise wherein you went. However, you will nonetheless be there, simply improved. Quiet. Covered. Hidden in undeniable sight. It really is the praise of obedience. The angel who has taken your name is likewise erasing your call from positive curses. There had been words spoken over you, in mystery, in anger, in envy. But I erased them. No longer with pressure, however with choose. You are not connected to what became said in darkness. You are now rooted in what was written in light. It truly is why your coronary heart feels warm proper now. That is why your eyes are watering. Your spirit is responding to the announcement, it's time. This isn't always random. That is orchestrated. You have been supposed to see this message. And no, not just as content. As coaching. As confirmation. And the angelic move tonight isn't a tale. It's Miles' method. A divine relocation of style, authority, and protection. When you wake up the following day, something will experience special. Human beings might also nevertheless deal with you the identical, however your soul may not respond the same way. The shift may be real. The vintage triggers may not work. The disgrace won't stick. The lies might not shake you. Due to the fact you are moving. Hours left. However, not simply time on the clock, time at the old model of you. Say goodbye now. Allow cross of what is grumbling. Walk far from who is draining you. Concentrate to the whisper for your chest. It really is me. You do not need thunder. You don't need lightning. Simply consider. You asked me to speak, and this is how I chose to do it. Softly. Secretly. Kind day guys, once more, now not due to the fact you need to, but because it smiles a signal you received this. The angel who has taken your call has additionally been informed to carry a scroll. That scroll contains 3 things about you that ought to show up fast, 1 restoration, 1 removal, and 1 relocation. You'll not recognize which takes place first. However, you'll understand every of them when it arrives. These are not small modifications. They're radical. Designed to reroute your entire course away from risk and towards future. The recovery will start with a wonder. Someone who once left you or wounded you may all of a sudden be moved to mention something they have never stated before. It will be odd. Don't answer fast. Pause. Let me manual your reaction. Their role in your existence isn't usually to go back, however, now and again to release you from the grip of unresolved pain. The words you have waited to hear will come, but now not because they have energy, because I've ordained it for closure. Restoration would not imply reunion. It approach launch. And release is necessary earlier than the relocation. The removal will sting, however it smiles divine. Something, or someone, will suddenly vanish. Communication will spoil. Plans will collapse. Do not try and repair it. Do not chase it. Don't mourn what I am disposing of. You prayed for clarity, for power, for guidance. That is my solution. I eliminated not to harm, however to heal. Some humans stayed longer than their grace. Their presence started out to damage the promise. And that I, in mercy, have decided to cut what you had been afraid to confront. Whilst it occurs, thank me. Even through your tears. And the relocation, it is already in motion. You cannot present to unmarried bag, but your spirit is already moving. Possibilities will look distinctive. Conversations turns into divine appointments. Even your schedule will shift. You'll start lacking matters that once regarded essential, and you may be pulled toward locations, voices, and pics that sense ordinary. That's due to the fact you've been here earlier than, not physically, however spiritually. This move isn't random. It was spoken over you before you had been born. The angel changed into truly waiting for the timing to release. And now, it has. Ours. This is all. And as the moments pass, the atmosphere around you may start to tighten. You will feel it, a quickening in your spirit, a tingling to your fingers, a warmness for your chest. This is the divine marking. The signature of my presence resting upon your decision to live, to read, to agree with. That's why I say once more, don't skip this. Each sentence has weight. Each line is laced with the hearth of prophecy. What you are experiencing now is not creativeness. It smiles the holy stirring. A signal which you aren't overdue. You're proper on time. They wanted you silenced. They desired you doubting. They wanted you distracted. But I saved you hidden until the instant turned into right. And now I display you, now not to them, however to motive. They won't see it coming. But you may sense it arriving. That is why there is been pressure. It is why the nights were heavy and the mornings empty. Your womb of promise is complete. You're approximately to birth something you cannot call. You can't describe it as it hasn't been executed earlier than. That is new territory. And you're the first of your era to stroll into it. There is one more factor. Someone, a person you've got idea of whilst reading this, is being watched by heaven. Their role to your life is about to shift dramatically. They may be both going for use to your elevation or exposed for his or her deception. You may not need to bet. Inside the next 24 hours, something they say, do, or reveal will confirm which one they're. Pay interest. Don't confront, just look at. The angel will do the setting apart. Your process is to live silent and alert. Archangel Michael has taken the final step. He's circling your house this night. Do not be terrified of the shadows. Do not be terrified of the dreams. If you see him, realize that he has been given permission. He isn't right here for fear. He is here for very last practice. If you feel a presence while you sleep, whisper these words: I accept as true with you, Lord. I give up. A good way to be the activation code. So one can free up the last gate. You may understand this turned into actual when day after today. Earlier than the identical hour you are analyzing this now, you receive a signal so particular, so surprising, so unique, that nobody can be capable of convince you this became coincidence. I'm a god of evidence. I do now not communicate without symptoms. And your obedience has located you to witness something that others will envy, but best you will apprehend. Before this night ends, you'll pay attention a sound, something subtle. It can be a knock, a bell, a crash, a name. Whilst it occurs, smile. That will be your affirmation. As a way to be my whisper on your soul that the movement has started. And while the sun rises tomorrow, something interior you may sense extraordinary. Now not loud, not dramatic. Simply settled. Prepared. Complete. Do not fear what occurs next. Simply say yes.